It didn't happen in some big magical place. It was just my garage, a wall I'd seen 1,000 times. And then it was like a door opened, and he was just standing there, looking at me. And the only thing that I could feel was love, pure love. Welcome to Grieving Insomniacs. This is Christy Haberman. I was on TikTok the other day, and somebody asked the question, have you ever seen someone that has passed? And I have, so I decided to tell that story. Still not real comfortable being on camera, so I thought we'd enjoy this pretty view at the lake, watch the ducks, and talk about it. So Christopher died in 2011. That first year, I couldn't even cope with the fact that he was dead, much less the fact that he had or needed a headstone. It had been about a year. I think the 1-year anniversary had passed. I've been thinking about this. And my husband was like, Christopher really needs a headstone. And I just couldn't cope with it at that moment. I just couldn't. I wasn't interested. I just wasn't interested. So my forever frugal husband decided that he was going to order it from somewhere on the East Coast. I think it came from Philadelphia. And he designed it. He put everything on it. I was just not really interested. I approved it, of course, but as could. And it was summer. I'm guessing about July. Because my son got married in September, my younger son. And it was before then. So I'm guessing the time frame was about July. I had my own business, so my husband and I always drove to work together. And that day we came home and there's this big old box in the driveway. I'm like, what is that? He goes, oh, well, that's the headstone. I was like, you didn't take the headstone to the cemetery? He goes, well, no. He goes, I didn't make arrangements to take it to the cemetery. And I said, well, what are you going to do? He goes, well, I'm going to hire someone. And I was like, that thing can't sit in our driveway. And he was like, well, I'm just going to pull it into the garage. Well, that didn't work out so great because it was too heavy. And I said, what are you going to do now? And he goes, oh, I'm going to make a pulley system. So we did, made the pulley system, got it in the garage. The wind just came up, so hopefully you could still hear me. And he unboxed it. And then he said, Chris, come here. And so I went out to the garage. And I looked down, and it was beautiful. And it was one of the first ones in our graveyard that had pictures on it, engraved pictures on it, like laser engraving. And so I want to explain the setup of my garage. So on the east side, my house faces north. So the garage door is north. You come into the garage from the house on the east side, and then the west side of the garage is just storage. I walk out and I look at it. I'm still not coping with it very well. I said, it's really nice. And it was. It was very, very nice. And I turned around and I heard Chris. And I thought my husband was talking to me. And on the west side of my garage, it was like there was a door there. And Christopher was standing there. He was wearing blue jeans. He had this favorite blue top that he used to wear, and he was standing in this doorway, and he was just looking at me with love. And he didn't say anything. I don't remember hearing anything. I just remember looking at him and him looking at me like he loved me. I mean, I could just see the love coming off of him. What was interesting is there were I could see a street behind him, cobblestone street. And then there was buildings, kind of Mediterranean style buildings with like the stucco on it. So it would have been on the south side of him, and he's looking at me. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure that I'm the one that turned away first and went in the house. And it took me a long time to accept that I just saw my son standing in my garage. I would like to say that it helped seeing him. I don't think it did. At that time, I was just so stuck in my grief. And I don't think I ever told my husband about it either. Not till a while after that. But he was standing in the garage too. And he's never said anything, even after I told him. So I don't know if he saw it or not. So I knew without a doubt that Christopher was alive somewhere, that he didn't just disappear into the ether, and that there was absolutely an opportunity for him to come see his mom. And so he did. So that is one of 2 or 3 stories I have of seeing deceased loved ones. But that's the one that was most impactful. And even today, when I'm talking to you about it, I could see it in my head. Clear as day. And standing there, what he was wearing. Not gone. Just not in the way that I understood anymore.